right, we got a new pilot in training right here. Trying to get you all the shots you want.
Crazy shots.
First time ever operating a drone. Good. First module of the day, and we had a wrap problem. They had wrapped all around my lower roller, so usually when that happens, it's something got a little sticky here on the rollers and it just grabbed it. So we're going to cut that off, and then I got my jug of talc right there. We're going to talc all these rollers down real good and hopefully keep this problem from happening again. I learned from my mistake the other day. I went and got me a razor blade. Makes it a whole lot easier. Just like that, and cut through it all. That's so much better than sitting there sawing with a dull freaking pocket knife. All right, now we're just gonna sprinkle talc over everything. Get everything good and slicked up. If I wasn't a white boy before, I sure am going to be now. I think we only got like 4 wraps left on this roll right here. I wish this happened on the last wrap, and that way I can just go ahead and change it out rather than doing another few modules and have to get back here and do it all over again. There you go. I sure hate to see this $27, $28 go to waste. All right, this morning we came to the back of this farm to get started because the landowners don't want me spreading chicken litter on the front part close to their house to deal with the smell, but they will let me spread it back here on the back. So these back 2 fields, we're gonna go ahead and get them done because I can get a chicken litter spread on them, and then anything we got left over we're gonna put on the back side of that front field. So we're gonna start here in the back and work our way towards where we quit last night. God bless. Yeah, but anyway, the freaking hits on this picker just keep on coming. This was not stopping us from running though. But if you notice right now, I'm steering the picker manually. That's because the freaking wheel angle sensor on my rear axle that shows the position of which way the rear wheels are steering is not working anymore, or it's just working intermittently. So watch what happens when I hit my auto steer button. It's working fine at the moment, it seems. But anyway, we can be going down through here just fine. All of a sudden the picker will, make a hard left-hand turn because that angle sensor is going out. That's the sensor that tells the road track controller, you know, which way the wheels are pointing, so it knows which way to correct it to keep it on the road. And when it's not reading right, I mean, it throws everything out of whack. All right, I think it's acting up now. Watch what happens when I hit the road track button. Woo! See, right there where it says wheel angle sensor, and right now it just started reading good again. But you saw what happened when it when I hit the auto steer button. And what happens is that, all right, see where it's reading 3.85 or flashing back and forth between 2 and 3. See, that 3.77 is telling the computer that its wheels are turned all the way to the right, and straight is about that, you know, 2.2 range, what you're seeing now. And when it's going back and forth like that, I mean, it's throwing everything out of whack. So anyway, that wheel angle sensor I replaced 2 years ago when I bought this picker and was having problems with auto steer, and it's worked fine for the last 2 years, and then the first several days of cotton harvest this year, and then all of a sudden yesterday it started acting up. So anyway, I looked up the part number, called John Deere this morning, like, hey, y'all got one in stock, and how much is it? I was thinking, I remember it was expensive, like in the $1,100-$1,200 range. They called me and said, well, Brownsville's got one, $2,355 for a freaking potentiometer / sensor. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, there ain't no way in hell I'm paying $2,355 for a freaking sensor. I mean, for one thing, I don't have the money for that kind of luxury fix right now. I can steer the picker a whole lot manually for $2,355. I mean, that's beyond obscene for what you're actually getting. And you know, that's John Deere for you. That's the kind of crap they pull all the time, and it's not just John Deere. I mean, CNH does it, you know, AGCO does it. I mean, it's one thing to charge outrageous amounts of money for, you know, new equipment. You know, a farmer can choose whether to run old equipment and work on it all the time, or spend the high prices for new equipment. But to charge absolutely ludicrous prices for parts to keep our old stuff running, I mean, they got us by the balls, and there's not a daggum thing we can do about it. Fortunately, this problem is not necessary into the operation of the picker. You know, auto steer is a luxury. I drove a cotton picker a whole lot of years without auto steer, and guess what? I can do it again. But I'm not going to help contribute to John Deere's obscene profits that they show every quarter. Not going to do it. Not unless it's actually something that is preventing me from getting my crop out. It looks like I'm steering this picker manually the rest of the year, unless it just starts acting right all of a sudden. I'll revisit this next summer when we pull the picker in the shop. Maybe see about, you know, getting that potentiometer maybe sent off and fixed by somebody. Maybe Ag Express might be able to fix it. I don't know, or maybe trying to find, you know, some other aftermarket alternative. I can tell you one thing, I ain't spending $2,355 right now. Not when this picker will pick cotton just fine with me sitting my butt up in here and holding on to the steering wheel myself. You know, it's just so daggum frustrating. You know, we pay so much money for this equipment. You know, it's got these features on here, and then not to be able to use these features because of an outrageous part price is just really, really aggravating.
I love watching this. This is so cool. So now that we've got the camera working, I've adjusted it. It is making backing up and lining up a heck of a lot easier. Also, that handy dandy mirror right there, but it's broken and I can't make it go down anymore. So it's kind of stuck there, but it is what it is. So this is helping a whole lot, especially lining up. This will also help during the night because you really can't see back there when you're trying to line up. And it works. Oh, well, it's not going to work. Okay, hold on. There we go. It has been glitching a few times. I don't know why, but it is. Up she goes. Woo, that's a heavy one. The front end just lifted up. See, here we are lined up. I'm gonna drop her down. Oh, good Lord, that's a heavy one. Wait for it to come back. There you go. And so you can see how I use the camera to line up. I've been using the manual. We do have it where it's automatic, but you can't really do the job correctly without using the manual. So there you have it.
All right, see Andy right there sitting with a full load of litter, waiting on me to get enough picked, and then waiting on Grandpa to get over here and get the stalks cut so he can spread. And then Kelly's over there getting my bales moved from last night. This is really her first action on the bale mover this year. You know, Carter's on fall break last week and this weekend. Kind of took her spot. So she's back out here on her full-time job. All right, look here at this field of cotton. It looks significantly better than what we've been picking on the front part of the farm. I mean, definitely looks a lot whiter. The cotton is definitely a lot fluffier, not near as knotty as what the front side of the farm it was. And it's not blowing the doors off on any yield, but it's yielding at least a couple 100 pounds per acre better than what the front part of the farm was. And I mean, we don't have a different variety out here, don't have a different planting date or anything, but what the difference is this field and that other field, like I said, it's what we've been able to spread chicken litter on for a couple years. So I mean, that's really the only difference. The soil type's not really any different. You know, but you know, we spread chicken litter on these two fields for 2 years, and you know, that's really the only thing we've done different. And I also will say on this field right here, in years past, I mean, it hasn't grown bad crops, but it's grown really short crops, and you could tell it just wasn't doing what it's supposed to do. And when I pulled that ripper across this particular field last year, I mean, it pulled hard. It pulled really hard, and the cotton plants on this field this year look way better than what I've grown on this field in the past. And I know our ripping plots did not show any statistical difference in benefit, but in this one field right here, I mean, there's a definite benefit to the ripping, because this is the best that this cotton has looked on this field ever since I've been working this farm. And that's kind of what I was saying, you know, last night about the ripping. You know, once we get all of our ground covered the first time, you know, I'm not going to do any large scale ripping, but I think, you know, targeted ripping where you got problem spots like this particular field was definitely a problem spot. You know, I'm still going to do that. I mean, look how good that cotton looks down through there. We're almost 1,000 pound cotton in this area. You know, excellent compared to right over there. You know, chicken litter was a big part of it, and then also the ripping was a big part of it too. So, all right, we got a new pilot in training right here, trying to get y'all the shots you want.
Crazy shots.
First time ever operating a drone. Good thing about having multiple people shooting like drone is each person has got their own style of flying, and kind of breaks up the monotony of just, you know, seeing, you know, my style of drone shots. So I know with Zach, when he was here, he used to fly the drone quite a bit, and he always seemed to give quite a different perspective on things operating than what I did.
Those trucks are picking up our bales. Let's go see what they're up to.
Oh, really?
That's crazy. They came quick.
Yeah, get a shot of the module trucks picking them up. We got lucky on that.
Yeah, about 42 miles an hour.
That's the fastest you've ever gone through this field, ain't it?
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make use of one of the landlord's deer blinds here on this farm. Got my lunchbox, it's lunchtime, and gonna give Andy some more seat time on the cotton picker. That way we're more efficient, that picker don't ever have to stop. We get done with this miserable harvest a little bit sooner. Let's see what Kelly's got me packed. Ooh, a nice big thick sandwich there. Let me set y'all up with a little bit of a time lapse here. Well, that worked out pretty good right there. Got done with lunch just as Andy got this field done. Well, how'd it go? You ready to start spreading litter now?
Oh yeah. We need to skip a beat, but we are 2 portions left on our round.
Well, I think we only got one because I had to cut one off. Take, go over there to your tractor and we'll swap out. I know that's a long ways away and y'all can't see it, but a module truck just pulled into the field up there, and that's just a testament of how bad this cotton crop is. I mean, this cotton's not sitting out in the field anytime at all, because they got to get the cotton to keep running, and all these pickers running are not spitting out these round bales near as fast as we do in a normal year. I mean, I've seen some years in good cotton crops that modules will sit in the field for like a couple weeks before the gin has a chance to come get them, because they can't get the cotton gin fast enough. But that sure ain't the case this year. And just thinking about the economics, you know, how bad farmers are hurting this year due to low commodity prices, and especially for us and people in this area, you know, really low yields. And I also got to think about all the infrastructure we got in place that depends on farmers, you know, like the cotton gins. You know, the cotton gins are going to be hurting just as bad as the farmers, because they're only going to be, you know, they're only going to gin, you know, maybe half the volume that they normally would in a year. And, you know, they got operating costs and labor costs and all that other stuff. So it's not just the farmers in this area that's going to be hurting. You know, all the retailers that sell equipment, that sell crop input products, you know, all the granaries, the cotton gins, you know, all these people are going to be suffering this year because of the short crop we got. All right, we just got done with this farm. About 20% of our acreage was in this farm, and hopefully this was our worst farm. I don't think it's going to be. I think we're going to have one more farm that's worse than this one, but hopefully I'm wrong and we got our worst out of the way now. But looking up here at my yield monitor, these backfields raised the yield quite a bit. We're now up to saying 573 pounds per acre average, but bring your attention to these 2 fields and then this area right here. See how much higher yielding these 2 fields are in this area is rather than all of this. Well, we've applied chicken litter on this field and this field for 2 years in a row now. In this area right here, we had some extra chicken litter, and we applied one year's application right in there. And I mean, you can see there's a pretty significant yield difference right there. But looking at this map, you can see where all those patches of white ground is. That's where that cotton was so shorted and stunted. Now this land up here still got, you know, some white ground in it also, but I think chicken litter has made a pretty big difference, and that's only just a few years of chicken litter use. You know, that's not a scientific test or anything. That's just an observation I'm seeing, and, you know, a logical conclusion to what I'm seeing. You know, there could be something else there, don't know, but, you know, it's all the same variety, all the same farm, all planted on the same date. You know, that's really about the only difference I can see. So anyway, we're going to get folded up, get moved up there into the Jackson City limits, try and get a little bit picked up there, a good spot to put modules and everything. And I think tomorrow we're going to start seeing some significantly better yields than what we've seen over here. We're going to be on some of my best ground. A lot of it's going to be some good bottom ground. And I know it was stressed this year, but it never really looked stressed, you know, like all of this other that I picked so far. So really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to start spitting out some modules just a little bit more regularly than what I have been doing. Give you an update on the baling green wrap. I don't know, we've been through, it's either a roll and a half or 2.5 rolls of it so far, and on these big size modules, I mean, it's been dang near flawless. I mean, looks good. I have noticed something, and you know, I don't have a big enough sample size to say this is a definite conclusion, but so far this year I've had that baling green wrap up on that back roller twice, whereas normal year using the Tama, I might have it only happen, say, 2 to 3 times the entire season. But each morning I started with that Tama wrap. The first wrap has wrapped that back roller. I don't know if maybe it just doesn't have as much talc on as much talc on it as the Tama does. I know the material feels a little bit different. Maybe it's just a little bit stickier, and then you combine that with the moisture from the dew on the rollers and stuff. I don't know if that's having something to do with it, but I'm gonna try to remember tomorrow morning before we ever get started. I'm gonna go back there and talc everything and hopefully keep that from happening. Again, my sample size is not big enough to say that it's definitely stickier than what the Tama is. It could just been a fluke occurrence that it just happened to happen 2 days in a row on the first roll. But I'll go ahead and say at the price point that baling green is priced at, even if it's got maybe just a little bit more flaws in it than the Tama, I'm still going to buy it. The cost savings is worth maybe just a little bit more issue. All right, time to put this thing into transformer mode. Be sure to put my seatbelt on. Hopefully now that rush hour is over, hopefully this transport up into Jackson will be a little bit smoother. Alright y'all, like I said, I want to be steering this thing manually the rest of the harvest season. I might not have that option. This thing's been steadily getting worse all afternoon. Every time I turn around, it throws this freaking alarm. Wait, just let me get right up here, turn around, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I got to sit over here and hit the check mark button twice every time I turn around to make it go away so I can see all the other stuff on my display. All right, y'all listen. Go figure. When I turn my camera on, it doesn't do it. That's literally the first time I've turned around in several hours that it hadn't gone off. Let's try gear again on the other side. All right, let's see if it does it. Well, never mind. I found the cure for this thing. All I got to do is just leave my camera running for the next 300 acres and won't ever have to hear from that alarm again. I tell you what, having y'all watch me is just as good as having a technician show up to diagnose an electrical problem that mysteriously just all of a sudden goes away as soon as he starts looking for the problem. Crap, it just went off, and as soon as I get my camera out, it went away. But anyway, it's a warning saying, you know, it's not detecting any wheel movement when I turn the steering wheel, and it's throwing up code every time I turn around when my camera's not running. So anyway, I put out something on Facebook this morning and had several people reply to me. There is supposedly an aftermarket steering potentiometer slash sensor. It's about $600 cheaper than John Deere. Still way overpriced. So I don't know, if this thing keeps on throwing alarms, it's gonna drive me insane. I might go that route. But first thing what we're going to do is tomorrow morning we're going to get a John Deere picker Bible out and do some testing of that potentiometer and make sure it's the actual sensor on there and not, you know, a wiring issue or a mechanical problem on the stem or something like that. So there we go, I got it right there. That's what she's saying. Now for real, I'll see y'all out here in the morning.